Hello, this is Tom Styles, and this is Tom's Ready Room Show. I'm out in my backyard, and first I'm going to give you all my excuses for why this is going to be a terrible video. Okay, today I wanted to get my foot out of the way. I wanted to test some of my devices that are solar powered. And when I got up this morning, and then when the sun came up, it looked like it was going to be a nice, clear, bright day. So I thought, hey, maybe I'll get a chance to go outside and do some of this testing. Well, there's broken clouds now, so sun is coming and going, coming and going. And then my second excuse is I normally would have used my patio where I've got a bigger table. I've used that in the past, but the trees are shedding and the patio is a mess. And it's been, of course, raining every day, and so it's all damp and got trash, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm using this little tiny table to try to show you what I'm going to do. So there's my excuses. You can stop watching now because it probably will be a disaster. So first thing I got to do is I got to move the camera so that you can get a better look of what I've got on my table. So here we go. Stand by. Okay, let me see if I can see what I'm doing. First I'll move in, and then we'll come down the table, and maybe I need to get up a little higher so that I can show you stuff a little better. Sorry for the jerkiness. My cheap tripod doesn't work very smoothly. Okay, now we're up in the air, and maybe I'll get a little closer. Watch me get too close and everything will be out of focus. Okay. Yeah, at least this time I did remember to empty the memory card, so I shouldn't run out of memory on the memory card. So here we have, let me flip this down so I can see it. And this table is kind of rickety. What we have here is an array of things. Number one we have over here is the lantern, which I just did a review of, and it does have a solar cell on the top, and the LED indicator, which this one is red, is indicating that it is charging. Now again, when conditions are going to change, I had to wait till it's almost 10:30. I had to wait a couple hours because the sun is still pretty low on the horizon, and we got a lot of trees in the background which block the sun. So I had to give it a chance to get above those trees. So it's about at a 45-degree angle, and of course, since it's almost October, it's kind of low on the horizon, maybe at an angle of 70 degrees up from the horizon. So it's not ideal conditions for charging things. And like right now, the sun's behind a cloud. But anyway, I'm going to proceed on. The next thing I brought out is this E-ton emergency light charger radio. Has weather bands, and it also has a solar cell on the top. Not very large. That's one thing about these devices. The solar cell, well, I see a lot of shadow here too, so still got some trees in the way. The solar cells are not very big. Okay, the next thing we have is the little battery pack, which has solar cells here to charge it. And right now, probably can't see it, but the LEDs are blinking. Oh, now we got an airplane. I forgot to use that excuse. I'm near the airport, a little airport, and we have these little airplanes that are almost as noisy as big jet airliners. Anyway, so it's charging now, even though I don't have full sun. Ooh, and it's a little dirty there. Let me see if I can wipe off the smudge. There's a smudge down in the corner. The other thing is, these things are not going to be at the ideal angle to get the maximum charge. So, that is, especially like this guy here, you know, the sun is coming, well, when the sun's out, it's coming way over on this angle. So, not the best angle. I'm going to attempt to leave this stuff out for about 4 hours. And like I say, I started about, well, it's actually 10:25 now, so I started about 10:15 this morning. And we'll see what these do during that period of time. The next thing I have is, and it's a little dusty too, is I have this fairly large solar charger. And this is supposed to put out, I believe this puts out 7 watts. It puts out 5 volts at 1.4 amps, max. That's max. I didn't think this thing was working when I first got it because I stuck it in the window and it barely put out any voltage at all. And I subsequently found that you got to get these things out in bright sunlight. Like I say, right now, there's a big cloud up there, so we don't have much sunlight. But we're going to give it a try. And this one, since it's not charging anything, I'm just going to look at using my tester what kind of output it's putting. And I've got my UPS, boy, I got my UPS tester with my UPS load, and I forgot to bring a screwdriver to adjust the load. So we're going to take that and hook that up and see right now, see if we've got enough power to even turn on the tester, because it is overcast. And guess what? There's not enough power to turn on the tester. When you open this back up, this is not a good sign that I'm not getting anything out of this solar panel. Again, right this minute, the sun is behind a cloud. Hopefully it'll come out here in a few seconds and we'll see something on this tester that this thing is outputting a voltage. Again, it's not going to be, let me fold this back. That will at least get this one panel at a better angle. It's not the correct angle. And I still have no voltage. Let me make sure. Maybe I've got too heavy a load here. Yeah, it's on now. So that this load, which I don't have my screwdriver, maybe I can do it with my finger to crank it, the load down. Let me see how good my little finger is. Nope, can't do that. Too stiff. Yeah, I had cranked this load up. I think it goes up to either 2 amps or 4 amps. I had cranked it up to an amp to discharge the lantern's battery. And it was, then I put it, after that got discharged, I put it on this solar battery pack to discharge it. And the voltage went down so far on the battery pack that I had to crank this up as far as the load to keep the load on it. And now I probably got it too high to test this solar panel, because this, as I said, this solar panel only puts out about 1.4 amps. And I cannot turn that thing with my finger. I was hoping I could turn it with my finger because it'll take me, oh, there we go. Now I turned it a little bit. Trying to turn it down so it's not such a heavy load. And I'm not doing a very good job with my finger. Oh, forget that. Well, wait a minute. Let me try this. Maybe that will act like, nope, can't use that for a screwdriver either. So anyway, right now, it is putting out 5 volts. And of course, there's no load on it. And this is, you can use these panels for charging a battery pack or a device such as a radio or a light or whatever that has a rechargeable battery in it. And I'm just not getting enough light. So right now it says it's putting out 5 volts, which is what it's supposed to put out, but I have no load on it, and if I put this heavy load on it, it kills it kills whatever little bit of output it has. So can you just hang in there for a second, and I'll run in and get a screwdriver real quick out of the garage. Hold on. Okay, as Arnold would say, I'm back. Makes all the difference in the world when you got the right tool. So I'm going to crank this down to its minimum load. I love this little tester, UBS tester, UBS. I did it again, USB tester, because you can change the load and it has circuitry on here that gives you a constant load. So I've got it down as low as it'll go, and let's see if this tester will stay on with that minimum load. And guess what, it doesn't. So that's the thing. This solar panel, it's got 2 fairly good size, about 5 by 7 panels. Of course, one now is not at the right angle. And it really needs full sun to give you any output. So it can't even, I got this set at the minimum setting, which I think is 0.33 amps, and it won't cut it. The tester turns off because the voltage drops too low. It's on right now, it's supplying 5 volts, but it will not supply enough current to keep the tester on when I put a load on it. So the sun's going to rise. It's out bright right now, and let me see one more time. I'm going to put this load on here and move the panel around. Ooh, the fan came on. That's a good sign. Yeah, I'm getting 1/10 of an amp now that I've got full sun. Let me set that down. And let me take the light's so bright now I can't see the tester without shading it. I wouldn't even attempt to try to show it to you. But it's showing now, 2.85 volts at 0.14 amps. Let me tilt it up so I can try to get it kind of ideally pointing at the sun. And oh, I'm shading it with my arm. That doesn't help. Let me go over here. Oops. Oh, a comedy of errors here. Okay, now we've got, oh boy, 2.9 volts at 0.22 amps. So it's just not cutting it. Okay, there we got, I don't want to shade the thing, but I have to shade the display so I can read it. Now we got 5 volts at 0.33 amps or 330 milliamps. And we've got pretty much direct sunlight. So anytime I put my arm in the way, I get nothing. So that's about the maximum we're getting out of it, which is only, that's less than a watt. And this thing is supposed to put out 7 watts. And I've got both panels here. I might be off camera. But I've got both panels here pointed in the right direction, and we're getting 1.6 watts out of it. That's it. So kind of disappointed in this. And that's all the testing I need to do on this right now. And this is, let me fold it up. Like I say, it's supposed to be putting out 7 watts, but I can't get 7 watts out of it. And this is the Sun Kingdom 7-watt charger, solar charger. And I was lucky if I got what was it, 1.7 or something. Pretty pathetic. And I do have, and boy, it's getting warm, I do have full sun right now. And I might, if I play with it some more, I might get 2 watts out of it, which is not what I wanted. I wanted a lot more than that. Granted, the sun is now at about a 45-degree angle up from the horizon east-west, and it's over about 60 or 70 degrees north-south. So that's where the sun is. Not ideal, of course. And later today it will get better. I'll come back periodically and check and see what's going on out here. Let me now arrange things so that these other devices can get maximum sun. I've got some shading over here that I need to get away from. And ideally what I'd want to do is prop this up. Let me get this load and I use to prop this up. It should be about that angle right there, but I don't have anything to prop it up at that angle. What I will do is, after I stop the camera, I will go get something and prop this up so that I can have it point more directly to where the sun is. This is a real problem in that can't easily prop this up, and of course the sun is coming from that direction, so it's not getting full sun. And I'm trying to see, I don't remember on this one if there's an indication that it's charging. I don't see anything that tells me that offhand. It does, and you probably can't see it because it's too bright out here. It does have a clock that's on all the time once it gets enough power. It was not on when I came out here because the internal battery had discharged so much. So we're going to set this right here. And then the last item, and let me move it over closer to where the sun is. Again, the sun's coming right now at a bad angle. The light is showing that it's charged. So I'm going to leave these out for a total of about 4 hours, unless the sun completely gets covered up. And then take them back inside and see how well they charge, which is going to be hard to determine, but I'll do my best. So anyway, that's how it goes. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.